I thought that the jurisprudence in Jamaica, the quality of the justice system was such that a man who is sent away, as we look at these live pictures we're looking at from the Supreme Court building in downtown Kingston, ISAT Buchanan. I think a piece of his handkerchief fell. Yeah, and he had to retrieve it. He's being mobbed, as Ricardo Brooks told us. But this verdict, this decision rather, has split opinions in this country. We have to make that clear. Opinions are split, but at the end of the day, Kartel and his co-accused, no more, as Saeed said, they're just his friends. They go home. And Isaac McKenna looks emotional, like he's crying, Cliff, like he's drying tears. I saw him lift the glasses just now, and he's asking his fans, the people, to just remain calm and keep order as everybody wants to touch him to get a piece of the son of Big Youth.
And we're going to get a reaction now from Abka Fitz-Henley.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. Unless you've been living under a rock, you would not realize that Vybz Kartel and his co-accused, they were freed today by 3 judges in the Supreme Court at about 2-something in the afternoon. First, I am going to let you take a look to what his lawyer ISAT Buchanan has to say, and then I am going to give you some sights and sound from what actually took place at the court today. You will see the fans, you will see the popo, you will see the reaction, you will see the interaction between the lawyer and the fans of Vybz Kartel, which were there in their drones. Take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
And I want to thank the team, Mr. Clark, Mr. Beach, Mr. Chevalier, and myself for the hard work that we put into it. It was a long time, many years, many things came from it, but we are now here awaiting the release of Adidja Palmer.
What time the Kartel get free?
That has to happen. The process has started, and we would hope today, because the Constitution said something about that.
No, the judge said that he's free.
The judge says he's
so the
free.
question now is the prison authority must explain why he's free and in custody. So they'll have to do what they'll have to do to release him, but he's free.
Has your client indicated what next? Has he indicated what next in light of this?
It's too early for that. It's too early for that, but we certainly hope that, as we're saying this to you, that the process is being expedited.
Now, people, as you can see, the main lawyer for Vybz Kartel, ISAT Buchanan, he is excited. He is elated because this is what he would call success. This is what is going to be a career-changing moment for this lawyer and the other lawyers, because we've seen even more bigger known lawyers on Vybz Kartel's case, and they did not get the results. This is what we call perfect timing. I am not going to say that he is the best lawyer that Vybz Kartel has had. However, he has gotten the best result, the ultimate result, which is freedom. There's a saying that goes something like this: he who laughs last laughs best. And we see who is getting the last laugh, and we see who has been yapping at the mouth. I am going to let you take a look to some sights and sound of the courthouse and how persons were acting, how persons were reacting when they saw the lawyer for Vybz Kartel and when they got that notice or when they got that information or good news, whichever one you want to call it. Take a look, and then I'll give my piece. So people, you saw the reaction you heard from the lawyer. You know what most persons are saying? Well, it is kind of split. Some persons are excited, some persons are sad. And justifiably so. At the end of the day, this all comes down to the proper protocols that should have been followed. The proper thing that the judge, the jury, the prosecution should have adhered to. So at the end of the day, it is not about if he was innocent or they were innocent or guilty, if they did it or if they did not do it. It came down to the fact that proper protocols were not followed as it pertains to the judge giving instruction to the jury, as it pertains to jury misconduct. Specifically, that one jury that violated big time and should have been thrown off, and the case stopped immediately. At the time that violation took place, the prosecution and the defense made a decision whether it is mostly the prosecution that they were going to move forward. The problem that the Privy Council had, and they made it very clear, is that the judge had the ultimate decision to make based on what he saw taking place. If somebody violates the constitutional right of a jury misconduct, which is going to be detrimental to a fair trial to those suspects, then that is going to be grounds for dismissal, grounds for retrial, grounds for appeal, and people. Such is the case in this case. So after taking into consideration that 6-day trial to see if there's going to be a retrial, after listening to the sides of both the prosecution and the defense, the judges said that they had 12 points of contention that they were kind of concerned about. And yes, they realized that somebody actually lost their life, allegedly. And they realized that it was over some sorts of toll, which is a serious problem in Jamaica. However, after listening to all the evidence from both sides, prosecution and defense, they were concerned that there was insufficient evidence, proof by the prosecution that they had all the witnesses, all the exhibit, all the evidence, and there would not be any sorts of delay had there been some sorts of retrial. Because based on the recent history and based on that trial, initial trial, it took in excess of 60 days, a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of evidence, a whole bunch of research, and it took a couple of years to come together. When they analyze and assess the amount of cases that are on the docket in the Supreme Court, in which little pitney lose them life, big woman lose them life, that is just as serious or even more serious than Vybz Kartel's case, they will have to consider how long it is going to take. Are they going to skip these other cases? And why should Vybz Kartel's case have any sorts of priority over these other taken away case in which the person in a Vybz Kartel case is a criminal himself? So therefore, if little pitney lose them life, that is more priority over an alleged criminal losing his life by 4 other persons and people. I am not trying to say that the judges are saying that anybody's life is more important or freedom is more important, but me just say, why should this case skip the line, jump the line over other cases? A next very valid point of contention in which the 3 judges had is the fact that there's going to be psychological, emotional, economic, and also constitutional problems if there was some sorts of retrial. And this is based on the defense or the prosecution, saying that yes, we understand that there is some sorts of violation of the constitutional rights of the appellants. And if we remember, the lawyer for Vybz Kartel, ISAT Buchanan, came in with medical experts, came in and could prove that Vybz Kartel suffers from some sorts of medical ailment, be it Graves' disease. His heart is also functioning at 50%. Now, people, this is my disclaimer. There are other appellants, suspects in a prison that suffer from even worse ailments. These people did not get the opportunity or was not given the opportunity like Vybz Kartel did. The difference here is that Vybz Kartel's lawyer filed the paperwork. Vybz Kartel's lawyers and his co-accused lawyers followed the proper protocol and procedures to have their case listened to in court, got some sorts of priority based on the fact that they were locked up for in excess of about 11 to 13 years. Another point of contention, the judges were saying that, all right, with the newly amended act as it pertains to sentencing, as it pertains to firearm, it would not be fair for specifically those that were charged for some sorts of GUN crime, some sorts of MURDER. Their time would be increased significantly based on those changes. the judges, 3 of them, did not think that that was proper. The last point of contention that these 3 judges also had is based on the public perception, what is out there in the media, in a news media, traditional and social media. Was this possible for Vybz Kartel and his co-appellants to get a proper retrial? The judges thought that it was not in the best interest to give a retrial because the interest of justice would not be served based on all those points of contention, including what is out there in the public sphere, meaning YouTube, meaning social media, meaning in a news, meaning in a real life. Now, people, this is my disclaimer before I proceed. At the end of the day, this was not whether Vybz Kartel or his co-accused were innocent had anything to do with the conspiracy of Lizard losing his life. This was about proper protocols and procedures that were not followed. Constitutional rights in which the prosecution said themselves, yes, we agree that their constitution might be violated. People that will not be allowed in any sort of court of law. So whenever the prosecution said that, that was always going to be problematic if you had some judges that were fair. So at the end of the day, this was not if Vybz Kartel and his co-accused were responsible for the takeaway of Mr. Clive Lizard Williams. This was about the proper protocols and procedures not being followed. It is the same thing in which the people in England sent it back to Jamaica. Jamaica Supreme Court judges, 3 of them including a newly appointed Supreme Court judge, came to a decision that was not split, a decision that was unanimous. That means that everybody agree to the terms of the violation, the term of the constitution of these people being violated. People, at the end of the day, it is very simple. Do the right thing or the wrong thing is going to do you. At the end of the day, the prosecution, the DPP, Paula Llewellyn and their friends have some questions to answer. At the end of the day, truth and rights and justice must be served, and it must be served when the proper protocols are followed. Even if you're trying the devil, if his constitutional rights and protocols and fair trial is violated, the devil is going to walk. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.